What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Dalton and I ride and race bikes, and tomorrow kicks off the 2024 race season right here in Southern California. Now, I started getting prepped and ready to go for tomorrow, and I was thinking to myself, what are a few things that I really wish that I knew when I was getting ready for my first race day so that I could be more prepared? I broke that down into 5 different things that I figured I would share with you guys today. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright guys, let's get things kicked off with tip number 1. Now tip number 1 is to register early for your race. You don't want to show up day of and find out that your field might be full. That does happen quite a bit in the category 4 and 5 categories, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe register like a week or 2 out, and sometimes it does come with some discounts. Quick tip for most of you guys in the US is you're probably going to be registering for any USAC events via Bike Reg. If you're on Bike Reg, it's got a cool little tool that has a Who's Registered tab, and you can see exactly who's going to be in your field. So if you know of anybody in your local cycling scene that's also going to be racing, you can check out their stats online. It's kind of just good to know the who's who of your particular field. This brings me to tip number 2. And tip number 2 is knowing what time you race and how long it's going to take you to get to the race course from your house or your hotel. Map everything the night before. That way you get there with ample time to show up to the registration table, get registered, take a quick bathroom break. You'll have to, trust me. And lastly, you're probably going to need to spin your legs out because you probably had a little bit of a drive. It does take a little bit longer than you'd expect to get pinned up and do everything right. So just give yourself plenty of time when you show up. I usually like to get there anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours before my race, and even that's cutting it close sometimes if things get a little wonky. Tip number 3, charge and pack everything except for what you're wearing to the race course the night before. Luckily, I do have this fancy Pedal Industries bag, and this is not sponsored by them at all, that has a checklist actually built into it. So what's pretty cool is that it says things like glasses, gloves, computer, strap, and it's actually gotten to the point where I now say things in order like that out loud, no matter what bag I'm packing. So when I pack my track bag or anything else, it's glasses, gloves, computer, strap in my head every single time. So make a little checklist like that, even if you don't have a bag like this, and make sure to get everything packed, because the last thing you want to do is drive 200 miles and forget these bad boys, because these might be the absolute most important thing that you need on race day. Everything else can probably be borrowed. And speaking of charging, you definitely don't want to show up to the race course with a dead rear derailleur. As much as I do love a good track race, racing fixed gear, especially in a road race with hills, things like that, is probably less than desirable. Where's the stupid thing? Tip number 4, guys, is to eat right the night before a race. So I've always been huge on carb loading the night before any kind of endurance athletics. I've been doing this ever since I was a swimmer, back in my young days when I was just a tiny little whippersnapper. Now, as much as I try and eat right in the mornings, I have a hard time with doing the whole breakfast thing. So sometimes it's good to just have a little bit of energy stores in your system to operate on. Then you can just do gels or liquid diet stuff like a shake that'll tide you over until your race is over, and then eat between those 2 races. Oh, guys, finally. Tip number 5. Tip number 5 is to not overwhelm yourself. Have one singular goal in mind for your race day that would make it a success for you. Whether that's just getting to the start line in the first place and starting that race, whether it's avoiding all the crazy pack antics and potential crashes, whether it's just finishing with the pack or not having any mechanical issues. Whatever your small goal is, make sure to just set that in your mind and stick to it. It's easy to get carried away and think about winning, ending up in a break, winning from a field sprint, all those things. You really never know how the race is going to unfold, so stick to that singular goal, like I said. Guys, I do have one additional bonus tip for you if you want to stick around and hear it. So, do course research. Know if you're making right-hand turns, know if you're making left-hand turns. Pull that thing up on Google Maps, check it out, do the street view thing, especially if you haven't gotten a chance to go there and walk it. If you get there early enough, walk the course. Now, a good resource for this is to check out old race videos online. If you're into old race videos and maybe you're racing some of the stuff I am, check out this video right here. And if you're maybe just into some race day vlogs or some adventure vlogs, whatever, check out this video right here over my face. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope your first race day is a success. Take care, I'll see you again soon.